It's Halloween time, when we take out our pumpkins, candy, decorative skulls, bats, other festive-looking things, and whatever else makes us happy. It's also a great time to bring out the media with the monsters that we are all likely familiar with. And that's what I'll be talking about in this video. I'll be looking at the best and favorite of the classic horror monsters. It's always good to acknowledge the classics.
Why, yes it is, MrTopTenList.
Wait, where did that come from?
It's me, NegetiveX, from under your bed. I moved down here when I realized how easy it was to just eat all the pumpkins and candy you left on the floor.
I don't get it. What do you... Yeah, that's the last time I do a live-action intro. Well, great to have you here, I guess. Will you be staying for the list?
So long as you keep putting them sweet, sweet pumpkins on the floor.
Well, with that being said, let us count down the top 10 classic horror movie monsters. Number 10 is the Invisible Man. Of all the Universal monsters, he was the one that seemed to fit in the least. He's got a suave look and a nice voice. However, he just looks out of place with these other monsters that could terrorize towns and rip faces off. Since when does invisibility make somebody a monster? Just means you can't see that person. He's basically just a voiceover. In fact, is my voiceover right now monstrous? I don't think so.
You know what it was? He wore sunglasses inside. That's like an asshole move right there. And wanna know what's the difference between an asshole and a monster? Nothing.
It also must be pretty tedious for him to go all full invisible, considering his clothes don't turn invisible too. Unless he has some violent, incredible technology. And to my knowledge, that was not created until at least 2002.
I bet he wished that technology had been invented. Because if you recall from the movie, it was winter when he was doing his rampage. Let's just say, I bet he was happy that no one saw how cold it was outside.
Number 9 is the Bride of Frankenstein's Monster. For such an iconic character, she really only appeared in her movie for about 15 minutes. And even in doing that, all she did was kind of just scream at things.
It wasn't so much of a scream, it was more of a hiss. Like,
wow, you make it sound like she has a pound of phlegm in her throat. So in the end, what makes her so iconic? I might be going out on a limb here, but I think it's the hair. If she never existed, we may have never seen this hairstyle. Okay, good point. We may have never seen this hairstyle in live action. She was not too pleasant in her appearance in the movie. Frankenstein's monster, like a good guy, came over, very polite, said, "Hey, we're alike. Let's start a family together." But she was all, "No, screw you."
To be fair, he did just walk up to her and be like, "Hey, I just met you, but wanna have some babies?" A little creepy.
But to rebuke, her name is the Bride of the Monster, so argument nullified, I hope. Also, the monster really should have taken the rejection a little better, go out, clear his mind, get a cup of coffee instead of pulling the self-destruction lever to the entire castle. Wait, why would the doctor put a self-destruction lever in his castle? In a gothic castle? Who designed this?
You know, when I was an architect, I got fired pretty quickly because I put a self-destruct lever on every floor. In hindsight, probably would have been better for me to put 2 on every floor.
Number 8 is Godzilla. I don't really see why he should be on this list. He's a monster, but he's not a horror monster.
I would disagree with you on that one, MrTopTenList. Because yes, the Godzilla of later years is just a monster, kind of an anti-hero, saving the day by kind of destroying Tokyo, like 50%. But back in the original, he was the greatest monster that ever came up. He terrorized the city, killed everyone. Godzilla also existed in a rich world of other monsters, and he whooped all their asses. I mean, he took down King Ghidorah, Mothra, the Smog Monster, Space Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla 2, the Son of Godzilla, even though they probably never technically fought on screen. Godzilla truly was the king of all monsters. In every way. He's not even a universal monster, but he still fought his way onto this list.
Number 7 is the monster of Dr. Caligari, or as he's known in the movie, Caesar, with an E at the end. How's that pronounced?
You know, when I'm feeling saucy, I like to call him Cesar.
This is a great film and one of the earliest monster movies. My only complaint is there's one scene where Dr. Caligari introduces his monster to a crowd and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Caesar knows all secrets. Ask him to look into your future." So then Rollo over here just comes up and you know what question he asks when he has the chance to ask any question?
Was it how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Was it what's the meaning of life? Where are my car keys? Did I really just spend $5 on this show?
All those would have been better questions than his one, "How long shall I live?" Why would you want to know that? You can ask any question in the world, and you just want to know when you're dying? And in the defense of the monster, he probably didn't know such an arbitrary question. He didn't have time to ask him, are you a smoker? Do you exercise daily? So he just responded,
I don't know. You don't have a lot of time left. Dawn?
And the monster knew that wasn't going to come true, so he had to do the only logical thing, which is sneak into the guy's house at night and kill him. Because if the guy woke up the next day, he would go, that monster's a fraud. I'm going to go tell everybody.
Solid plan.
Number 6 is Guile from Creature from the Black Lagoon. I was disappointed that his name was not actually Creature from the Black Lagoon.
You know, I got nothing to say about this film. I enjoyed it. Good movie. That's all.
What I have to say about this movie is, for the sake of the monster, he should be glad it wasn't in color, because it looks like he's wearing lipstick in the movie poster.
You know what? At least Guile tried to do it appropriately. You see, Frankenstein's Monster just walks up to a girl, hey, wanna get married? Right now, let's go. At least, Guile's putting on makeup, he's taking her out. That's how you should treat the girl you eventually kidnap.
Number 5 is The Mummy. Now let's get something straight. In the 1930s version, he barely even is covered in the mummy wraps. He's in it for like 10 minutes, then he spends his time as this suave-looking guy Imhotep. Is he even suave-looking, or is it just because he's wearing a fez?
I think he's suave. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I'm at 30%.
Whoa, think of the children before you finish that sentence. In the remake, he didn't even look threatening. He was just this buff-looking dude that kind of had a weird mouth.
40%.
And he had his own cartoon series where he was this grape-flavored fellow. In addition, this is my first chance to talk about the monster-themed cereals in this video. Because if I get a chance to talk about cereal, you bet I'm talking about cereal. In fact, I like cereal more than Lady Gaga likes cereal in her music video for Marry the Night. And damn, Skippy, that is a lot. Maybe the Mummy could have gotten higher on this list if his cereal wasn't just a repackaging of the Wolfman's cereal Fruit Brute. So basically, the Mummy could have treated his good friend the Wolfman with respect and changed his cereal to be more unique, instead of ripping him off after he was discontinued. Number 4 is The Zombie. The first zombie movie was seen in the 1930s, but we're going to speak about everybody's favorite little undead scamps made popular in Night of the Living Dead. The zombie outbreak isn't just in fiction, but it's everywhere really. It's in our movies, video games, comic books, footwear, cakes, pillows. We're still talking about zombies, right? Okay. Teddy bears, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, marshmallows. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Hey, do you have a favorite zombie?
I do. His name is Tarman.
From Return of the Living Dead?
Yep. I mean, look at him. He's so cute and cuddly. And his gooiness, you could just hug him and stay stuck there forever.
I do have a complaint about your precious Tarman. He goes around the entire movie looking for brains, saying his trademark phrase, brains. Finally, he gets his teeth on this poor guy's brain, takes one bite, throws the guy on the ground without eating any more of his brain, then looks at a crowd of people saying, more brains. He's asking for more of the same food without even finishing his first helping. That is wasteful, sir. His mother did not teach him manners, and if she did, he did not listen to her.
In Tarman's defense, however, I'm sure the first taste of brain is the best.
So would that justify if the first bite of an apple was the best, it'd be okay to do that with apples at the supermarket? Like take a bite of an apple, throw that on the ground, take a bite of another apple, throw that one on the ground. Probably wouldn't if you continue the cycle because you would eventually be thrown out of the supermarket. All I'm saying is Tarman just needs to be more like these zombies that drink your blood and eat your flesh. Apart, just as wasteful as Tarman, but together, they form the most efficient zombie union I've ever seen, even though I've never heard of these movies.
Well, not everyone has friends they can do that with.
I thought Tarman was so cuddly you could just hug him.
But the other zombies are jealous of him.
Number 3 is the Wolfman. He's a man that gains a wolf-like appearance and a wolf-like agility in the full moon, thereby becoming a wolf-man. His name does not lie to you, folks.
Despite his tough demeanor, he still has managed to become a teenage heartthrob, as seen in the classic Teen Wolf.
The Wolfman also doesn't like silver because it hurts his eyes or kills him or something. I don't know, both those are reasons not to like something. Number 2 is Frankenstein's Monster. Frankenstein's Monster is historically known for being misunderstood. But can you blame him? People constantly call him the wrong name. They always call him Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's Monster. How would you like it if you were always called your father's name?
I know I would be pretty upset if people called me by my dad's name.
Hey, NegetiveX.
It's NegetiveX, you nice man.
Certain depictions of the monster haven't always shown him as the most shrewd or clever character. However, the most intelligent portrayal of him was of course in the 1960 series The Munsters. Herman Munster clearly showed that if you're a man made of dead people, you can still live a normal life in society with your vampire wife, werewolf son, and the rest. Anyway, for number 1, if you know classic monsters, the choice may be obvious. So is JD's script for Dr. Acula said in Scrubs, you take out the period and push the words together and it says Dracula. If you don't watch Scrubs, this reference is irrelevant. I just wasted your time. I'm sorry. Number 1 is Count Dracula. Dracula is the jack-of-all-trades monster. He has so many qualities that beat out the competition. He's intelligent and debonair, can hypnotize people, turn them into his minions, turn himself into a bat, all while looking threatening with his fangs and blood-loving self, and he wears a cape.
What really makes this guy such a great villain, though, is his eyes. Just look in those eyes. There's intensity, the like soul-sucking power. You just get lost in their milkiness.
Yeah. You okay? Huh?
Oh my. Sorry, what were we talking about? Oh yes, Dracula. He's cool.
In addition, almost 10 years before the universal Dracula that everybody knows, there was the German incarnation known as Nosferatu, made popular by being the original version of Dracula. Even though it was unlicensed, so all the names need to be changed, such as Dracula being named Count Orlock, and the vampire being called Nosferatu. And if you don't know him from that, then you might know Count Orlock from the time he messed with the lights of the Krusty Krab. This movie was revolutionary for the 1920s. It had a creepy but realistic looking monster, lighting that horror movies should have. There's even jokes! Look at these cut-ups.
I'd also like to point out that this is probably the first recorded case of someone showing up for a job and realizing that their boss is a total creep. So kudos to Nosferatu for being the precursor to all Craigslist posters that are just complete pervs.
Count Orlock also amps up his creepiness level by not even hiding his love for blood in a scene where the protagonist cuts his thumb while eating a steak. Orlock just gushes over his bleeding thumb, no pun intended.
Man, who gets cut on a steak? This guy probably deserved to get duped by Nosferatu.
Well, actually, he cut his hand on the steak knife, most likely.
Makes a little more sense, but still, the principle of the matter.
Also, to further our point of the serial monsters, you could tell that Count Chocula was the leader of that mascot gang, significantly higher than Frankenberry and Booberry.
More like Poohberry.
Winnie the Pooh did have his own cereal, but I don't see how that's relevant.
It isn't.
Anyway, that's why Dracula, Count Orlock, Nosferatu, Mr. Burns, whatever you want to call him, is our number 1. Any classic monsters that we left out? Let us know. Thank you all for watching. Happy Halloween, or period after that if you decide to watch this in any of the 11 other months of the year. And I will see you all next time. Good show. Planning on leaving anytime soon?
Nah, I'm gonna stay here. I like it. It's cozy.
Oh. Well, do you want another Happy and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup then?
I would, but not the half you're thinking of.
That's great.